what's good YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today you're talking sports with MG9, and today we have Sixers Talk with MG9's episode 9. Now before we get into today's video, make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoyed today's content, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the notification bell so that way you do not miss a video. And be sure to comment down below any thought, opinion you have on today's video. Now without further ado, let's get right into today's video. This is Sixers Talk with MG9's episode 9, and today we're going to talk about game 1 of the Sixers versus Washington Wizards series. We're going to break down this game. So this game was a tale of two halves, in my opinion, for the Sixers. The Sixers started off, you know, I wouldn't say we started off horrible. I would just say we started off bad on defensively. Defensively, we were just not hustling. Joel Embiid on a defensive end in the interior was just not being aggressive, man. I wanted Joel Embiid to, you know, go after, contest some shots a little bit better. Like, it was a play where Raul Neto got a layup over him. It was another play where Bradley Beal got a layup over him, and usually that doesn't happen to Embiid. So just to see Embiid, you know, let, you know, two smaller guards, you know, get some shots over him inside the paint is a little bit disappointing in the first half there. But also in the first half, we had a bright spot. Tobias Harris had 30 points in the first half. He finished with 37. And he kept us in the game in the first half, because there were times where Washington would have a 5-point lead, but Tobias Harris would come back and give us a 2-point lead. So shout out to Tobias Harris for being the guy in the first half. Put up 30 points in the first half. That's his career high for points in a half. Shout out to Tobias Harris for finishing with 37 points. I know he didn't do as well in the second half, but that's because in the third quarter, our shooters and Joel Embiid got a rhythm, and it was just lights out from then, man. And also, not to mention as well, I forgot to mention, was that Joel Embiid was in foul trouble the first half. That's why he wasn't as effective in the first half. But once the third quarter got here, Embiid stopped getting fouls called on them, and the shooters got hot. Seth Curry got hot. Danny Green hit a couple of shots. It was just starting to pick it up for the Sixers. It's just amazing to see that our shooters can get hot at any moment, especially in the third quarter, where we really needed to get a momentum in the third quarter to be able to close out the fourth quarter. So shout out to Embiid and the shooters in the third quarter for getting in rhythm. And then the fourth quarter, we just closed it out, man. We just closed it out. We didn't do too much. We didn't try to, you know, shoot ourselves to a blowout. No, we just closed out the game. We did what we were supposed to do to close out the game. Now, player of the game has to be Tobias Harris for this one. Tobias Harris, even though he didn't, like I said, he only had 7 points in the second half and 30 points in the first half. If he didn't have those 30 points in the first half, we would have been down like 10 in the first half. Luckily, we were only down 1 at halftime. So shout out to Tobias Harris for keeping us in the game. Obviously, Joel Embiid, when he gets in rhythm, he can take over a game. He did that in the third quarter along with the shooters. And then, like I said, the fourth quarter, man, he closed it out. So yeah, Tobias Harris is the player of the game for the Sixers. Player of the game for the Wizards, I'm gonna have to give it to Bradley Beal, actually. You know, I think I've seen a little bit more from Bradley Beal than I did from Westbrook. Also, Alex Len was having a little bit of a good game, and Daniel Gafford didn't play bad either. They're two big men, so that's actually a really shocker right there. But I'm gonna give the player of the game for the Wizards side is gonna be Bradley Beal. Now, let's talk about Doc Rivers in this one. It was a couple of BS foul calls on the Sixers that I thought maybe he should have been aggressive and challenged. And this new challenge rule in the NBA, you know, I know it's more so an NFL thing, but, you know, I think coaches are a little bit hesitant to use the challenge rule because, you know, it's something that's newer. And Doc Rivers is a coach who's been in the game for 21 years and being an NBA coach, I believe. And, you know, Doc Rivers being a part of the game of basketball for way longer than that, being that he was an NBA player, you know, he doesn't know about, you know, how to use a challenge correctly. And I wanted him to challenge some foul calls in this game. So I want Doc Rivers to start using that challenge. Like I said, I know it's more of an NFL thing than an NBA thing, but Doc Rivers, you got to use that challenge. And other coaches do it a lot too. They're hesitant to use their little challenge. But look, you got to use what you have, because you got to use everything you got in order to win these big playoff games. But nonetheless, Doc Rivers coached a good game. Obviously, when you're coaching against Scott Brooks, the Wizards coach, who's one of the worst coaches in the league, you should have a little success there, and Doc Rivers did just that. I feel like Doc Rivers, He put in the necessary rotations for the most part. It was like 2 minutes where he had an all bench lineup, but he subbed Tobias Harris back in right after that. So his rotations were good. And I feel like he called timeouts when we needed him to, when the game was starting to get away from us at certain points, especially in the first half. So shout out to Doc Rivers for, coaching a pretty solid game there. And then Ben Simmons, let's talk about him as well. Ben Simmons, he had a 15 assists, 11 rebound game with only 6 points. I mean, Ben Simmons was not aggressive outside the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. But Ben Simmons was aggressive the first 2 minutes of the first quarter, and then he stopped. He stopped just wanting to score the ball. He stopped driving to the rim, and he just facilitated and got rebounds. And he, like I said, showed up on the stat sheet: 15 assists, 11 rebounds. So I mean, I'm not too mad at Ben Simmons. I feel like he should have been aggressive when he had guys like Raul Neto defending him. I feel like he should have took him to the rim. But, we still got the win, so I'm not complaining there. Also, Seth Curry picked it up very well in the third and fourth quarter of the game. Seth Curry was a big addition, and we needed him for games like this. When we need shooting, when we need to get a rhythm in the third and fourth quarter, that's why we traded for a guy like Seth Curry. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about this game, man. We got the dub. We took care of business game one. Tobias Harris is definitely player of the game. Joel Embiid with 28 points. He didn't play too bad, especially he played great in the third quarter, in my opinion, and closed out the game in the fourth. Joel Embiid did have a travel on a Euro step. Joel Embiid usually doesn't travel that often, so that was kind of a shocker to see, especially with his footwork. His footwork's usually pretty good, but he still had a good game. I'm not going to nitpick all these bad parts about his game. But yeah, other than that, the Sixers got the job done. We got to move on to game 2 now. It's your boy MG Nas. Sixers Talk with MG Nas episode 9 is completed. Until next time, it's your boy MG Nas, and I'm out. Peace.